So guys, every software engineer should learn basics of Excel, right? Because we use whether it is a developer or test engineer, or any software engineer, they should know at least basics of Excel. So how to learn these basics, Excel basics, right? So you open Excel and go to help and show training. Click on this show training. So you will see basic lessons on Excel here over here. You see here, right? Excel video training. Go through quick start and go through these tutorials one by one. Video tutorials one by one. All right. And in the same way, we use Word also. How to open Word is like in Windows you can open with, and the run prompt you can click, you can type WinWord for Windows Word, and open this Word app, right? And here also like you have some help option. Go to help and click on this show training. This also gives you like basics of this Word and Windows Word. Okay, just go through basics, that is enough. How to write and edit, how to format text, how to lay out pages, right? These are enough. You don't require this work with 3D models and all those. You don't need that. Okay, just go through the basics. If you are interested, yes, you can learn this also, right? But these are basics, guys. Okay, you should every basics that every software engineer should know. Clear, guys? And I want to calculate how many total hours completed till now, right? I think I'm taking from 7:30 to 8:30. All these sessions happened from 7:30 to 8:30, isn't it?
Yes.
I think on Saturday I took some extra time. That's fine. Okay. So I want to type 1 hour from here to here, right? You need not type in each cell, right? In Excel, each unit is called as a cell, right? I want to write one from here to here, right? So you need not type everywhere right now. Instead of that, you can do like this. You can select one cell and enter some value in this cell. Select that cell and drag it down like this, right? And next thing is I want to add how many hours this till now, how many hours the training is completed, right? Or how many hours completed from the start of your demo sessions. I'm considering demo sessions, guys. We started demo on 28th August, isn't it? Demo, and these are all performance testing basics. Okay, sorry. This is for attendees who all attended. Now I want to calculate, right? I want to calculate how many hours this is completed till now. Okay, I'll remove this. I'll update later. You got it, right? You got the requirement, right? From here to, I want to add all the cells from here to here, right? So this is, observe here, you have for the columns, you have columns are represented by capital letters and rows are represented by numbers, isn't it? Yeah. So if you want to refer to a particular cell, right? Suppose I want to refer this particular cell, this particular cell, right? So how is it represented is E, column name is E, and then row is 3, right? So this is E3. Clear, guys? Now this column, how can I represent this column?
D2.
You see here, right? D column, second cell, second row. So this is represented as D2, right? Now here I want to get how many hours the session is completed till now, right? So we can apply an Excel formula like this is equal to sum of D2 colon, right? I want like the session
D3 now.
Huh?
It is from D3, right?
No. See, from where I have values from here, right? Here I have values. So that's why you D3. Sorry, it should be D3.
Yes.
See, the moment you type, some, right, it will show you, it is showing you some session. See here, hold on. Let me clear everything. Okay. And the moment I type is equal to sum of, see, the moment I type is equal to, right, it is showing something. See here, sum of day 3 to day 16, isn't it? Just select that and you get the total number of hours, right? And this session will go for around this training session like will go, say for example, some 150 hours, right? I'll give some 153, okay, or I'll give some 100. We can modify it later. You got it, right? So this is how this is the sum of all the cells from here to here, isn't it? Excel is so powerful that you can use formulas, you can plot graphs, right? It's very powerful tool, and many more things. You can do a lot of things with Excel. You can manage our test data, right? There are a lot of things that can be done with Excel. In the same way, Word also, right? So please go through this, go through this training on Excel. Start with this Excel video trainings. How to create a workbook in Excel, you should be familiar with this terminology also. What is meant by workbook? What is OneDrive, right? Analyze and format in Excel, right? So go through these tutorials one by one. All are video tutorials, so they will be easy to understand. Okay. Interesting, right?
Yes.
What do you say? Is it interesting, or you feel like, oh, we have to learn Excel and Word also?
It's interesting.
No comments, huh? Guys, please speak out. I will make you speak from Monday. I'll make everyone speak from Monday. Yes, sir. You'll have some, table topics from Monday. Okay. We'll pick some current topic on Monday, right?
Okay.
Some current affair topic on Monday, and everyone should speak on the topic for a minute. Got it?
Sure, sir.
Yes.
Will you start? Will you start exploring Excel?
Yes, sir.
Recording. So okay, let's go into the session. Okay, so in the last session I covered developer tools, right? So shall we have some quick assessment on that?
Yes.
Is anyone facing
Yes.
Yes, sir. Is anyone facing issue on this, guys?
No.
No, sir. No, sir.
Is everyone able to launch web tools and able to access the application?
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
So please remind me to update this your tracker sheet, so that we will get to know, I will share this Excel sheet also with everyone, so you will get to know what all topics are covered till now, so that you can refer to them anytime, right? And you will also have track of which topic is covered on which day, and you can refer to that particular video if you missed the session, or if you want to go through that session again, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
We will I will track these holidays, and if I skip some session, or if you can't attend the session, right, I will take a note here. If someone couldn't attend the session, I will take a note here. All right. So we will please remind me at the end of the session, when please remind me to update this tracker. All right, guys, you see here, right, September 2021 PT patch. Okay then. So in the last session, I explained what is developer tools and what information we get from developer tools, isn't it? So let's have some quick assessment, guys. Okay. How to launch developer tools? I will ask questions to each of you. I want from Vaishnavi. Vaishnavi, how to launch developer? What is the keyboard shortcut for developer tools?
Bookmark, sir.
No, keyboard shortcut for developer tools, not for a particular application. Dasrath?
Control Shift.
Dasrath?
Control Shift L.
No, Control Shift I. It's not Control Shift L. Okay. See, I told another shortcut also for you.
F12.
Function
F12. Yes.
And key, sir.
Function F12. Right? Right. Can you use F12 key and can you launch developer tools? Everyone, please. Everyone, please do it now with F12. See, observe here, like whenever I am uploading the sessions, right, I will give you description. I'm not sure whether you are, going through or not that, whether you are seeing that or not. So let me show you something. So for every session, I am giving you, description, video description. Please go through the video description. Okay. Let me show you, the last session description. So this is your last session, right? On September 9th, isn't it? So if you see the description, video description, observe here. F12 developer tools, network tab, HTTP response codes. These are the concepts covered. Normal and private browser. So observe here, concepts covered in this session. Normal browser, private browser, HTTP response codes, and F12 developer tools and the information that it provides. Right? Please read this description. Okay. You got it. And generally I keep a thumbnail also. Mostly 99% I will keep a thumbnail. Right? So I will keep the corresponding thumbnail. What is the important concept in this session? I will keep a thumbnail for that. Did you observe anyone? Are you observing this, description and thumbnails, guys?
Yes.
Okay. Go through this description once. Okay. If I miss something, let me know. Okay. So and one more thing, from today onwards, right? Everyone should send an MOM, and not everyone. Sorry. One of you on each day, one of you should send me MOM, minutes of meeting. Okay. Let me explain what is minute. Okay. Let me explain that. I will share your notes also. Okay. I'll do that today. I'll share your notes also. So MOM stands for minutes of meeting. What is this MOM? Right? So whenever you have a meeting, right, in office, they will ask you, your team lead or project lead or your on-site team will ask you to send an MOM. Right? MOM means what all discussed in that meeting. Right? So just to confirm that everyone understood. Because when we have some when we are working in on-site and offshore model, right? So some people may not understand the US accent or UK accent. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Right? So just to confirm that you understood everything what is discussed in the meeting, or some people may miss the meeting, right? So that's why what they do is they will ask you to share the MOM. Okay, MOM of the meeting, right? So what you understood, right? What is MOM?
Yes, sir.
Right?
Yes.
Now
Yes, sir.
after the meeting, you have to prepare an MOM like this, something like this. Okay. So every company, it can have different formats. What I will do is I will give the format applicable to our sessions. Okay. What we will do is session time. Okay. Or meeting time. Right? Anything is fine, right? So session time. Say for example, every day we are having from 7:30 to 8:30, isn't it? 8:30 AM IST, right? Please mention the time zone also. You have to habituate yourself. You had like మీరు అలవాటు చేసుకోవాలి ఇప్పటి నుంచి, like to mention the time zone, because in IT like we'll be working with different different teams from different regions, right? Start practicing these mentioning the time zones. Okay, session time, we'll do one thing. For example, you want to send MYM for day before yesterday session, which is 9th September, isn't it? In September, right? Session time, that is the session time, right? And topics discussed or concepts discussed. So what all we discussed in 1 second guys, right? What are the concepts discussed on 9th September guys?
Web browser, normal browser.
Web browser and
Yeah, so normal browser and and private browser, isn't it? Normal browser versus incognito or private browser, right? Chrome calls it incognito browser. Okay, all other they call them as the general term is private browser. Got it?
Yeah.
Next, what else?
developer tools.
And one more thing, everyone install Notepad++.
Yes,
Everyone.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Please don't use Notepad, okay? Please don't use Notepad. Notepad, is something which keeps you. Please don't use Notepad. Even they are not using Notepad. Kids are also not using Notepad. They are much advanced than us. Yes or no? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Right? So my son, these shortcuts and all, my second class going son knows all these shortcuts, Zoom shortcuts, right? Because they are using Zoom meeting for their online classes. 1 second guys, there is some background noise from my side. F12 developer tools, right? Next, which tab we use in developer tools?
Network.
Please remember that, okay?
Yes.
Very important, okay? Network tab. And what next? What information we get from developer tools, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Yes, developer tools is mostly used by developers also, software developers also, right? So they also use developer tools, everyone will use this, like if, software developers or test engineers, everyone will use this. What else did we discuss on that day, guys? Hold on, so I have the video, right? So just let me see the description.
Lighthouse. Last look.
No, Lighthouse we didn't discuss. We'll discuss later.
Just okay.
So that's it, right? And one more thing is attendees. That is the last section, okay, in MYM. So remember, whoever is sharing MYM, right? They will mention like who all attended the session, who all missed the session, right? Or who all missed the meeting. That also will be mentioned, okay? So attendees. So you have to list out, who all attended that meeting and who all missed the meeting also. Got it? Say for example, absentees, right? Or you can have one of these also, okay? Sometimes like if your team is too big, right, you can have both attendees and absentees. But if your team is too small, right, they'll simply mention you absentees. Suppose someone misses the meeting, right? So they will mention that in attendees. That's why they provide that information. Suppose there are only 4 or 5 people. So if they give like 4 people, and if let's say one guy missed the meeting, they will mention here like the attendees, right? So that everyone in the team will know that this guy had missed the meeting, right? You got it? So this is what an MYM should typically contain, normally contain, right? So what is the meeting time? What are the concepts discussed, and who all attended the meeting? Got it, guys? So in our case, let's do this. You keep only attendees. Got it? and who should share this. Okay, so one of you should start preparing this MOM. This is for your practice, guys. Okay, and also we will have the list of how many concepts, how many topics we discussed on each day. You will have it in the WhatsApp group also. Got it? So and how should you send this? Like you send in alphabetical order. Say for example, in alphabetical order, Anusha is the first one in the WhatsApp group, isn't it? Guys, yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
By the way, everyone knows how to open WhatsApp in browser, right? In your
Yes, sir.
system, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. If not, like Google it and do it. Right? Very much useful. Is there any background noise from my side? Are you hearing anything? Right. So you remember, like, there are some, hold on. When we discussed this performance testing introduction, right? We discussed something called load balancer. Do you remember? In a typical software application, there will be something called, load balancer. Do you remember that?
Yes.
Do you remember this load balancer?
Yes, sir.
What is the job of this load balancer? What is the job? What is the purpose of this load balancer?
It will control the load.
It will distribute the load between, it will distribute the load across all the servers, isn't it?
Yes.
Yes.
And there are different load balancer algorithms. Load balancer algorithms, right? So this is, the first one is round robin. What is meant by round robin? Okay. Let me explain in this context, okay? So I want to apply this round robin algorithm for you to send MOM. So what does it mean? Means
Like circle.
one of you will be sending MOM. Got it? Each day one of you will be sending MOM. In here, right? What does round robin algorithm does is, right? There are 3 servers, right? What is the job of load balancer? To balance the load. The name itself implies. The name itself, indicates that it balances the load. Right? How does it balance the load? Right? When users are accessing the application, right? Let's assume, from morning, the first request, someone sent a first request for some URL. Okay. It will send that request to this first web server 1. Second request will be sent to web server 2. Third request will be sent to web server 3. So in that way, it will distribute the load between all the available web servers, right? So to make you understand how does round robin works, I am using this, I am asking you to send each day, one of you send the MOM, right? That is how round robin works. You got it, guys?
Yeah.
Now what we will do is, for first month we will follow round robin. For the second month we will follow some other algorithm. You got it? So that you will remember like what is load, what are the different load balancer algorithms, how does each of that work. Guys, understood? Everyone understood this?
Yes.
Okay. So, first we will follow round robin. Round robin means here what we will do is, first from today, Anusha will send, tomorrow Bhavani will send, like that. Day after tomorrow, Dasrath will send, and so on. Isn't it? Right? So that, this is how a round robin works. I'm distributing the load, I'm distributing this responsibility to all the students, right? To all the, trainees. Clear, guys?
Yes.
That is how a round robin algorithm works in software. Okay. This load balancer, round robin, load balancer, works in that way. Just to make you familiarize with, so there are, 2 things I am achieving here. One is to make you familiar with minutes of meeting, how to prepare minutes of meeting, and at the same time to memorize, the different load balancer algorithms.
Yes.
All right. So, so having said that, let's discuss, what is the next. So let's have some quick assessment, guys. Okay. quick assessment on the on the previous sessions on the developer tools concepts. I want to delete all this. How can I delete that? See, I want to delete this. I don't want this. How can I delete that?
Control refresh.
Control refresh, will send a request. Okay, I'm doing control refresh. I did that. Did it clear the previous one? Yes, the previous ones got deleted. Yes. Right? So there is another way, guys. Suppose I want to delete here only the entries here, right? So you can use this button next to the recording button. See here, there is a clear button, right? So click on that clear. Okay. So this is record and stop recording, and this is for clear the entries. And this is to filter. Okay. Let us understand what is this filter. Okay. So first let me access some URL. Localhost. I'm accessing webtools URL. Okay. Or I will take another example. Okay. Where this filter option will be very much useful. Suppose I type apple.com. Okay. I typed apple.com. Right. Now I want to see, in here I want to see what are the, what are the images. I want to see only images on this page. I want to see there are a total of 51 requests. You see here at the bottom, right? There are 51 requests. I want to see only images, right? So what you can do is, you can click on this filter, or there is a filter option here also. Just click on img images, right? Now see here, it is showing only images, isn't it? PNG, JPEG, SVG, DET plus XML. So it has filtered only images, right? Because I selected on image, right? Suppose I want to see only CSS files. Click on that CSS. You see, it is showing only CSS files, isn't it? So we are applying a filter here, right? We are applying a filter here, and we are filtering the type of resource. Got it or no?
Yes.
Right? And now I want to see all the resources of a page. How can I see that? Simply click on this all, right? Now you see all the 52 requests. Very useful option, isn't it? Guys, speak out.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Right? So this is a filter, the third row here is like, it helps us to filter the type of resource. What type of resource is it, right? So we can filter the types of the resources by using this. By default, all will be selected. Please remember, by default, all will be selected. Okay. And if you want to see only JavaScript files, use JS. If you want to see only CSS files, click on that CSS. If you want to see all the images, how many images are there on the page, you can click on the corresponding resource, right? If you want to see, document, HTML documents, right? So you can click on this doc. Isn't it? Right? WebSockets, okay? Ignore that, we want to, in testing, we need to, mostly use these options: JavaScript, CSS, images, and, document. All right? So, I'm going to the default one, right? Now, what information does it provide? You have developer tools in front of you. Can someone tell what information does a developer tool contain? Okay, let me clear this. Hold on. Let me clear this. Yes. Can someone tell me what information does a developer tool provide you? Hold on.
Number of hits.
Okay. Yeah. Yes. Please go ahead.
The request we have sent to the server and the
how many sub requests are, how many total requests sent to the server? Which server?
Here, Apple web server.
Apple server. What type of server is it? Yes, it is a web server. All our requests will go to the web server. Please remember this, guys. Right? Please remember this architecture diagram. every request from the browser will first go through web server. If there is load balancer, it will go via load balancer. First your request go to load balancer and then it will go to web server. Please remember this, right?
Yeah.
Next one. Yes, so developer tools will give you what all the requests that are going to the web server. What next?
The responses received from the server.
Yeah, response code for each resource. What is meant by resource here? Okay, see, when I say resource, let me explain. Okay, let me explain. When I say resource of a page, right? It's nothing but, see, web page component. What do you understand by this term, web page component? Yes, parts of this web page. Okay, when I say web page component, what are the different components of a page? So what does a web page contain?
Image, logo.
Yes.
Logo, image, logo.
Can you please be a bit loud?
Logo, sir.
Logo. Yeah. So there will
There
be
is
some
some noise.
Title.
There will be some images. Is there any noise from my side?
Yes, sir. Little bit we are getting.
No, sorry. Is there any fan noise that you are hearing
Some vibrating sound.
from my side?
Don't know, sir.
Okay.
I think from
No, you can know that from whose side that noise is. For example, if you go to participants in the Zoom window, can you click on participants?
yes, sir.
Right. So there, if someone is speaking, you see some vibration you see some movement on the speaker, microphone symbol, right?
Yeah.
So that's how you can know, from whose side it is.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Yeah.
Just give me a minute, I'll reduce the fan speed also.
Now it is clear.
Yes. Now it should be clear. Okay. So what are the web page components, guys? Any web
Title.
page components consists of HTML document, not title. Okay.
Frame.
HTML document. What else?
Frames.
Huh?
Yeah.
Frames.
What is that?
Frames, sir.
Frames. Yeah. Frames. And of course, so frames are made up of the HTML documents, right? And next, HTML documents, images, and what else? JavaScript files, right? And we will discuss what is the purpose of each of these component, why JavaScript is used, and what is the purpose of CSS and all. Okay? So basically, any web page consists of HTML documents, images, JavaScript files, CSS files. Right? You can remember this, right? So if you understand the concept, you will not forget. Okay. So let's see let's see some HTML document to understand this, right? So let us see if you see here apple.com page, if you see apple.com, you see some documents, you see some JavaScript files, right? Let me click on JavaScript. How many JavaScript files? You see some JavaScript files here, right? .js represents JavaScript. Okay, and you see some CSS files, right? There are some CSS files and documents, HTML document. This is HTML document, right? And you see some some XHR files and so on. These are the different components of a page. We are discussing what are the major components. Okay, so let's go to this our web tools example also, right? You see here there is some HTML document, right? Let me do a control refresh. Let me clear this and I think without clearing also, I think, hold on, let me try this. We have 5, right? Without clearing also, if you do control refresh, right? No, you are getting only 5 of 8 requests. Okay, so I have to select all, right? Yeah. So see here, there are there are some HTML documents, there are 2 images, right? And again 2 HTML documents and 1 image. In this case, we know what are the web page components: documents, HTML document, images, and HTML documents and images. That's it, right? You know that, right? You know what is PNG, what is GIF. What are these guys? PNG and GIF.
Image types.
Images.
Right. There are different formats, image formats, right? There are different image formats, like, you know, let me list out here: JPG, right? PNG, GIF. These are different image formats. There are many other also. There are lot many other, right? But you know, please remember, these are the popular or mostly used, you know, image formats, right? JPG, PNG, GIF, and so on. Okay. Now, so you know, like, so what does, you know, what does a web page contain, guys? Remember this, you know, some people ask you on basics. Okay. Some people, you know, in the interviews, right, they will ask you on basics, questions on basics, like this: what are the web page components, right? Fine, you told HTML documents, images, JavaScript files, and CSS files. Fine, very good, excellent. Now, what is the purpose of JavaScript? And you know HTML documents. HTML documents. What is the purpose of HTML documents? No, no or no? I don't know. Suppose if you click on View Page Source, right? You see a HTML document. See here, observe here. This title is defined here, and you know, frames are defined here. So this index.html consists of 2 frames, header and body, right? So this is how this page is developed by the HTML developer. Okay, simple code. This is a simple code, simple HTML page. You see here HTML tag. These are called as tags, TAGS. Okay, TAGS, HTML tags.
Harish is waiting for room.
What is that?
Harish is want access for room.
Okay.
Do you want me to admit?
No, I clicked on admit actually.
Yeah. Okay, sir.
Yeah. Right. So you know, you see here, you know, this HTML documents. What does this HTML document contain? This it contains the HTML code, isn't it? HTML code. What is HTML, guys? What does HTML? What is the full form of HTML? Can you Google it?
Text markup language.
Text markup language. Yes. Right? So these are called as HTML tags, right? So this means this is what, you know, the page is, you know, developed by writing HTML code, by writing some HTML code, right? Now, what are the other? So you understood, right? What is this HTML document type means?
Yes, sir.
Right? And this page also contains some images, PNG and, you know, JPG. What are those images? HP logo is one image, WebTools is one image, and you know, these 2 images are PNG format, and this image is in GIF format. Login button is an image actually, and you know, you can see that here. That is a GIF image. Okay, you understood, right? You know what? Now, you know, these are the components of the page. Of course, this page doesn't have CSS and JavaScript. Okay, we'll come to that. So what all information? What is the other information does, you know, that developer tools give you? I see the developer tools. Can you explain?
What are the requests we are sending and status or type of response?
Response codes, HTTP response codes. What type of document? What are the different types of components, page components? I'm hearing some background noise. Yeah, no, it's fine. Yeah, please go ahead. Is it Lakshmi who is telling?
No, I'm not.
Okay, who is that? Huh?
Bhavani.
Bhavani, yeah, Bhavani, please go ahead. Well, yeah, so you're correct. So, you know, it gives you, developer tools will give you what are the requests that are going to the server, what are the response codes, what next?
Which type of having in the
Yeah, what are the different types of components, page components, web page components, right? Web page, please, you know, remember this term, web page component. Next, when I say web page component, here it is showing that what are the different types of components. Yes, components means parts, nothing but parts, right? In a layman language, components means parts. Yes, next. Next. What is
Size
this?
of the component.
Yes, if this is important thing, the size of each component, right? So technically that is called as, web page component breakdown. Okay, I'll do a list out here. Okay, what all information does developer F12 developer tool give you? And the first thing is, yes, all the sub requests, all the requests that are going, sub requests are hits going to the server. Can I say hits going to the server?
Yes.
What is the next one? What is the next column? That's very important interview question. HTTP response codes. Next.
Type.
What type of document?
Different component types. Okay. Yes. Next column.
Initiator.
So what is meant by initiator? Who started that request? Who sent that request for a particular page? Right?
Yes.
Not that much important. Yeah. That's fine. So initiator, and then what is the next one?
Size.
Important
Size.
thing is
Size.
yeah,
Time of response.
size of each component.
Web component size.
Size of each component. Some people call that as web page component breakdown. Web page okay, hold on.
Component.
Size of each component. Sorry. Next one is, what is the next one? Size of
Time of response.
Yes. How much time each component is taking, right? How much time each component is taking. Rearrange this column. Yeah. Now you see how much time each component is taking, right? So that is called as web page component breakdown. Web page component breakdown. What is meant by this term? Breakdown means how much time each component is taking to load. As simple as that, right? Yeah. Out of the total page load time, right? See, out of the, what is the total page load time? Some 344 milliseconds.
44 milliseconds.
344 milliseconds. Out of these three components, out of these 344 milliseconds, how much time each component is taking? That is what we get here, right? In the time column.
Yes.
Right? So that gives you web page component breakdown. Right? So usually they will ask, like, how can you get the web page component breakdown? What is your answer? If in the interview, if the interviewer asks, like, how do you see the web page component breakdown? What would be your answer now?
Developer tools.
Through developer tools.
By using developer tools, you get this information, web page component breakdown. Right?
Yes.
You should remember these terms, guys. If you understand the term, you will never forget it. Web page component means part. Breakdown means out of the total time, how much each component is taking. As simple as that, right?
Yes.
You will not forget if you understand the concept, isn't it?
Yes.
Now, what else information does it give? It gives some waterfall model. We will discuss this later. So basically, to put it in brief, to explain you in brief, right? It will show you how the calls are going to the web server, how the calls are going to the server, and in which order they are going, right? So we will come to this. We'll discuss this later. There are few important things. It will give you how many total requests went to the server, and 12.5 KB transferred, right? So it will give you how much data is transferred or how much data is transferred, and it will also give you what is the total response time, isn't it? It is showing you this is the total response time of this page, 344 milliseconds, right? And there are two terms here: finish time, load time. Finished. What is the difference between? Observe here, load time is more. right? Load time is more than this one, right? Finish time, isn't it? Finish time means, how much time it took to get for the browser to get these resources, to get these components. And now, after getting the response from the server, browser will load the components, load the response properly, or it will render the response properly. That is rendering time. That is called as browser rendering time. What is meant by browser rendering? Once okay, I'll give some example. Suppose you did your shopping, for vegetables. Say for example, you bought some vegetables from the market, and you will arrange them in some fridge, right? You keep them in a refrigerator, right? So you are keeping you are arranging them. You are arranging all the vegetables that you bought in the fridge. That is real life example of rendering. Okay. So what does browser do here? For example, what is browser rendering time? Once it receives all the components, right? So it will display, it should, render the page. Render the page means it should load the page. Like this. On the top, you should have header. And you should have 2 images here. And you should have 2 frames here. That is rendering, or loading, or arranging the page. Sometimes sometimes even though you get the response from the server, you get some scrambled pages. Means you will not see the response properly. Did you remember any time? Did you observe any time?
Yes, sir.
Right? Those are called as scrambled pages. Scrambled pages. Okay. You can note this. Let me write this term here. Scrambled pages. Okay. So it means they are not parts are not arranged in a particular order. Then we call that scrambled pages. Okay. In this case, in a browser, if you are not seeing a proper page, right, we see that we call that as a scrambled page. Clear, guys?
Yes.
I think I have some screenshots, so let me pause recording. Right? Sometimes even though you got the response from the server, so you will not see a proper page, right? So those pages are called as scrambled pages. Now, if browser is able to render the page properly, it will take some time to render the page properly, right? That is called as browser rendering time. That is called as browser rendering time. Time taken. What is meant by browser rendering time? Time taken by the browser to render a web page properly, right? That is called as browser rendering time. Okay. You remember this term, right? Okay. Now you see the difference, right? See, it took 338 milliseconds for the browser to receive the response, and to load that page, it took some time. And including that, the total response time is, say for example, 344 milliseconds. Okay. We'll discuss what is this DOM content loaded later on. Okay. We'll discuss this later. I have to explain what is meant by HTML DOM. DOM stands for Document Object Model. Okay, let me put it here. We'll discuss that in some other session. But DOM stands for Document Object Model. Not that much important, but you should know the term, what is meant by DOM, HTML DOM. Okay, so this is what information given by developer tool, right? And remember, we can get all this information in the network tab. Please remember that, isn't it? We get all this information from the network tab. Okay, that is the tab that we use most frequently. Here, guys, another important tab performance test engineers will be using is Lighthouse. We'll discuss this Lighthouse tab in a different session. We'll have one separate session for this Lighthouse tab. But this is important, for beginners. All good, guys. I'll take a pass here. Any queries?
No, sir. Clear.
The document consists of HTTP port, sir.
What is that?
This type PNG, JPG images are having a username, password like images, and document having up to HTTP ports, sir.
HTTP response codes. You are asking about this?
Type, sir.
Type. What type of resource is that? See, This is an image, right? Image in PNG format.
Yes, sir.
is an image in PNG format, but this is a GIF format. Image in GIF format. That's why it is showing the what type of resource is that.
Yes, document, sir. Document having what is
Document means HTML document.
uh,
HTML document or Perl document. See, nav.pl is a Perl document. Okay, let me show you that nav.pl. Okay. How to go to that web tools folder, guys? You all kept a shortcut on the desktop, right? Right click on that and how to go to that folder. Dasrath, how to go to that folder?
Open file location.
file location.
Open file location, right? So you go to this
Docs, Windows,
HT docs, right?
Index.
Is it in HT docs? Where is the path of this guys? Will not show the path. What is that? We are discussing about nav.pl, right? Let us see where is that nav.pl. What type of document is that, right? So it is not there here. If you go to web tools, CGI, I think it will be in CGI bin. Yeah. So here it is nav.pl. That is a Perl document, right? This application is developed in Strawberry Perl. So this is a Perl document. Okay. So that's why it is showing, that it is showing that under as a document only, right? So when you say document, you have different types of documents, HTML documents and Perl documents and so on. Right? Any other queries? Understood that, right?
Yes, sir.
Any other queries?
No, sir.
Alright, guys. So what shall we do now? We have 15 minutes left. Okay. So let's see. Hold on. Let me pass record. Right. So you got the information of this home page or index page. How many sub requests are there? How much data is transferred? What is the response time and so on. Right. Now let me do proceed. Okay. Let me clear this and let me click on sign up now, right? But observe here, do you see any difference here? Do you see any difference, between previous output that we got and the output we got just now? Index page ki, next page ki, did you see any difference in terms of developer tools information? Anyone, guys? Do you observe any difference in terms of developer tools information, developer tools perspective? So it is any difference. Next page and the next page. Anyone? Bhavan, it seems like there is some internet issue on your side. We are hearing some disturbance.
Okay.
Yeah. Yes, someone is saying something.
Here we are seeing two images, sir.
Here sim.
We're seeing two images. Where?
We continue and login.
Okay. No. I said developer tools perspective. Developer tools is information point of view. Are you seeing any difference?
Yeah, here script there.
Script.
Script is there.
Before only PNG images and documents gives.
Script. You are seeing some JavaScript. Yeah. Right. That is one thing. And observe here, it is not showing the response time. See here. It is showing only how many sub requests, how much data is transferred. That's it. But is it showing, response time here of this page?
No.
It's not showing response time of this page, right? Now, suppose I want to see response time of this page from a browser, right? Response time of each page from the browser. It is showing only index.html for the first page only. But the next pages I am not seeing the response time. You got it, guys, everyone?
Yes, sir.
And now, but I want to see what is the response time of this page, right? So developer tools doesn't provide that. So you see here, right? Developer tools is not providing that information by default, right? Now if you want to see, right, if you want to see response time, total response time of the page, one thing is like you can sum up this 65 milliseconds plus 71 plus 422. You can sum up this. But if you want to see a value, complete value, I mean including browser rendering time, right? So what you can do is you can use a tool called HTTP watch. Okay, you can use a tool called HTTP watch. I think it is an extension, browser extension. Yeah, here it is, HTTP watch. Can everyone do this? Can everyone, what you do is open a browser and see this symbol represents extensions. You see here, right? You see this one, right? Extensions. Click on that extensions, right? Click on that extensions and you get this page, right? Now search here HTTP watch. Everyone, it's already there in my browser. Let's do one thing. Can one of you share your screen, please? I'll show you how to get that extension. One of you please share your screen. I will close the session in 10 minutes. Open a normal browser, or else here also you can open a normal browser just to make it simple. Yeah, on the top right you see some symbol, right? Yes, that is extensions. Click on that. Manage extensions. Yes. Now search for extension. Type HTTP there. HTTP space watch. Now search results found. Okay, give a space between those.
Space.
Let's try with a space. Okay, so it's saying no such results, right? Fine. So do one thing. Open Google page. I mean, wait. Can yeah. So type HTTP watch over there. Download HTTP watch. You type like this. Download HTTP watch. Download HTTP watch. Yes. Go to the first link. Yes. Can everyone do this, guys? Right? Basic edition is free. Okay. Download. Yeah. Accept that. Please, everyone do this, guys. Right? So don't ping me after the session, afternoon or evening. Please do it in the session right away.
మన స్క్రీన్లోకి వెళ్ళి మనం వర్క్ చేయడం కదా గోబ్యాక్ వెళ్ళండి.
Yeah, install it. Once you download, just install it. Yes. The following windows are open. Okay. You want to close these windows. If you click no, you may need to reboot. Click cancel if you want to. Yeah, click cancel. Click and close that browser. Close the browser. Yes. Yes one also. Yeah, click install now. Finish. Yeah. Okay. So now, this is documentation. Okay, documentation on HTTP watch. Go through this documentation, guys. Everyone. No, don't close it. Please wait. Maximize it. And go through this documentation. How to open HTTP watch in Google Chrome, right? So you go through this documentation. Okay. And now let me show you how to open this HTTP watch. Okay. Open a browser like Chrome or any browser. Now if you click on extensions, right, you will see that HTTP watch, manage extensions. Yes, you should see that HTTP watch here, enable extension. You see that, right? HTTP watch added. Now it asked for enable extension. Now you can see that HTTP watch extension, right? Add that extension to the browser, right? Now what you can do is you can go to the click on this extension icon, and click on the select the extension, right? Now you can see HTTP watch is getting launched, right? It is open now. Now if you see, you access the page, right? HTTP watch should capture this information. Okay, so see here it recorded, right? Index.html, header.html, and so on, right? Click on record. If it is not recording, click on record. Okay, let me do it again one more time. I started recording. Now so HTTP was started debugging the browser. You see a message over there, right? Recording is in progress. Now click on the index.html, right? You'll get the response time. You'll get the response time of this page, right? And also not only the home index page. Okay, by the way, you can see here. It is not. See, it is showing only page component breakdown. How much time index.html is taking, and how much time each resource is taking. See here, index.html is taking 380 milliseconds, isn't it? Yeah, here it is, right? It is showing total of 480 milliseconds, right? Now let me clear this and go to the next page. Okay, let me go to the next page. Okay, right? The page is loaded now. Sorry. Go back. Then start recording, and click on the step. Click on the link to the next page. Right now you see here, right? How much time it took? 158 milliseconds, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Guys, able to follow?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Now you can see the response time of every page, right? Let me log in. Let me do one thing. Let me clear this. And I'm doing a log. I want to see how much time login is taking, right? So is recording in progress, right? Recording is in progress, right? So click on login. How much time login took now? It took some 736 milliseconds, right? It took some 736 milliseconds. This is the response time of login page, right? You understood, right? How can we use this developer tools and HTTP watch?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So now when we are getting response times with these tools, why do we need Loadrunner and JMeter? See, in one of the previous session we discussed that we'll get the response times of each page in any performance testing tool like Loadrunner, JMeter. They will give you response time of each page, response time of all the pages. So we are getting that in developer tools and HTTP watch also. Then why do we need those tools? Why do we need to? Let me explain, right? So why we need all those tools is, this gives you when for a single user. Now we are accessing the application with a single user, but when any web application will have thousands and lakhs of users, right?
Yes, sir.
Right? If you want to see the response time of each page, right? When there is huge load on the system, right? That is where this performance testing tools comes into picture. These will not give you. These will give you for a single user. We are accessing the application as a single user, right? So these are single user response times. But when we want multiple user, when we want the response times of a application on load, whenever there are thousands and lakhs of users accessing the application, right? If you want to see how the response times are, we need those performance testing tools like Loadrunner, JMeter, NeoLoad, right? So there are a lot of other performance testing tools: Loadrunner, NeoLoad, JMeter, and Gatling. Let me show you. Let me share my screen. Let me show you the PPT. What I have listed out some important performance testing tools. There are around 20 to 30 performance testing tools. Okay, so Loadrunner, JMeter, NeoLoad, and Gatling, right? And Performer, WebLoad, right? Let me show you. Yeah. So here it is. These are the different performance testing tools. I have highlighted these three because these are the major tools in the market nowadays. Loadrunner still have 50% market share. Geometry is having like around 30% market share, and all other tools are having the remaining 10 to 20%. All other tools are having market share of 10 to 20%. So Neoload is another popular tool. After that we have WebLoad and Performer, IBM RPT, okay, Rational Performance Tester. RPT stands for Rational Performance Tester. Gatling, Locust, Grinder, Load Ninja, Load View, Load UI Pro, and the list continues. The list continues, okay. So we will be starting, with Loadrunner, in one or two sessions, okay. So we'll be starting with Loadrunner in 1 or 2 sessions, and then you'll see JMeter. Got it? And there are some open source tools and there are licensed tools. JMeter is an popular open source tool. Loadrunner is a licensed tool. Loadrunner, Neoload, these are all licensed tools. WebLoad is a licensed tool. Performer is also a licensed tool. This is also a licensed tool. Gatling, we have open source tool as well as licensed enterprise version also, right? So these are all, we have open source tools. So for these also, Gatling, Locust, Grinder, and also there is a commercial version also. For Gatling, we have a commercial version, means licensed and means with more advanced features, right? So anyways, we have open source tools for all of these three also, right? And Load Ninja, Load View, Load UI Pro, and so on. Is it clear, guys? These are the different performance testing tools we are learning. I will be covering only these two, Loadrunner and JMeter. Most popular are, I have given in the order of their, market share, right? Loadrunner still has majority of the market share. After that, JMeter is gaining, market share, very rapidly from the last 4 to 5 years, and it's the most popular open source tool. All right. So I'll stop the session here, guys. Any queries do we have? We can discuss and we can close the session for today. I think already few people got disconnected, feeling hungry, didn't have breakfast. Guys, able to hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So I'll close the session if you don't have any queries. Do you have any queries?
Please share my rendering time. That's material.
Oh, these notes you mean? You mean these notes?
Yes, today's class.
Okay. Yes, I will do it right away. Let me pause recording.